What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane posed action figures. Yeah, you heard that. So we've got Deadpool, we've got Wolverine. Let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out. Alright, as promised, today we're going to look at these McFarlane Marvel posed action figures, alright, or as most of us in the rest of the world call them, statues. Let's see what's going on here. So we get a nice big window for these on the shelf. You could see it. Thought it looked pretty cool, so I was like, hey, why not? I'm certainly going to pick up anything that I find interesting when it comes to like Deadpool, Wolverine, or the Punisher, right? So McFarlane, why don't you put out one of these Punishers and then I'll be good. Inspired by the first appearance of Deadpool, you can see kind of mimics the image of him on that New Mutants comic book. If you can see, there is a card back there as well, and you get that nice dio to go along. There's your image. That's the inspiration. New Mutants, number 98, from way back when. Nice comic. Nice book. There it is again. You get a bigger image like that. I think it would have been cool to maybe have that as the dio piece, but what we got, I think, is going to look pretty decent. Let's get this out of the box. Here's a closer look at your trading card that comes with it. Gives you a little bit of what's going on, a nice little synopsis there. Introducing for the first time the Merc with a Mouth, the extra lethal Deadpool. Plus, this issue also contains the first appearance of Domino. There you go. Moving in closer to get an idea of what this looks like outside of the box. It'll certainly display well, right? So you get the dio piece here. You might want to just like tape down the other side to close that gap there. But it really does add a nice display ability to it. Certainly on the more inexpensive / cheaper looking side, right? If you're looking for good quality statues, this isn't where you're going. But if you're looking for smaller statues to fill a void, I like it for that specific reason only. It is representative of something that I enjoy, and I do have a space for this type of stuff. So that's really the main draw there. The posed action figure, if you will. I mean, they do come out. They're pretty light, you know, not a whole lot of weight to it. Certainly feels fairly hollow. Like this sword is really bent, warped from heat. So you're going to want to heat that up. That's not the kind of stuff that you want to see in a statue, right? You want something a little bit better quality. But these do look cool. They're nice, affordable options for someone who just wants something to put on a shelf. Maybe you don't collect a lot of figures. You have a space in between a couple of books you want to fill. You've got your comics displayed, whatever. This fills a nice void for that kind of stuff. Not a whole lot to write home about. It is not going to articulate at all. It is a posed action figure, which is a weird set of terminology for what it is. But aesthetically, I do think it looks pretty cool. For Wolverine, again, a nice big window. I do like the packaging on these. It does grab your eye on the shelf. We can see him in there. Your trading card in the back. Flip it to the back here. You get the inspiration for this figure. X-Men, issue number 1. Nice book. It would be cool to maybe get this Cyclops at some point. I guess if you're building it out, right? I have no intention on building this out. I have my eye on one other thing if they ever release it. So this is going to hit the mark for me. Wolverine, Deadpool, call it a day. But of course, we'll probably get more Wolverines, and then I'll be back here talking about that. But let's get them out of the box. Here is your trading card for Wolverine. Again, you get the little synopsis on the back there, along with your issue. It's Xavier's X-Men versus Magneto, the master of magnetism. The X-Men's oldest enemy is back, and it's going to take everyone the X-Men have to bring him down. The huge gatefold cover promises that the battle is going to be epic. Wolverine coming out, looking good in the dio. Again, kind of the same stuff with the Deadpool. However, it does fold a little bit better, though, so I like that coming out of the box. The base is a little bit wobbly on this one, so Not sure, maybe a little heat. It is just plastic at the end of the day. Will right that ship, but aesthetically looks pretty good. You've got some good shading in there. Really nice expression on that. The claws are pretty thick, so they're not warped at all. So I do like how that came out. You got the great base there. Everything looks pretty solid, pretty clean, and definitely looks like it will be very displayable. And if you were curious how these might display against each other, this kind of looks pretty good for me. I mean, it hides the X-Men logo, but to be able to have them stand next to each other, I do think there is some good value in that, and certainly an option if you're not using the full diorama thing and you want to kind of get a couple of these together. There's a lot of ways you can do this, right? So to each their own, I suppose. And then for size reference, here he is backed up against your 80th anniversary Deadpool. This was the one that was on the retro card. Gives you an idea of the height. Of course, there is a little bit of a base there, but these are about in the 7-inch scale, just to give you an idea of where you're falling for that. For your Wolverine, you can see compared to the Legends version of this brown suit Wolverine, only a little bit taller. Of course, he's posed, so you're not going to fully get the idea of how the height is going to compare, but you can see in the bulk of the body how it is slightly different. Alright, folks, well, there you have it. There are your McFarlane Marvel posed action figures for Deadpool and Wolverine. Overall, I kind of like these. They fill a spot for something I'm into in my collection. Would I rather these be eccentric deluxe statues? Of course, but that's not where these fall into the price range. So these are good for what they are. Nice, affordable options. Gives you something if you're looking for something else to put in your display. Not going to be for everybody, definitely for a certain crowd. But if you're a fan of the characters that they're putting out, it's just another thing for you to add to your display. Alright, folks, that's the 2 cents. Do what you want with that information. I appreciate you checking out the video. Of course, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.